there. I'm Neat,
I'm Rocks.
and this is the Bourbon Barrel. And today we've got a special episode for you because we're running out of ideas. No, I'm kidding. Um,
15 episodes in, we're done.
it's over.
There's
We've covered
nothing more
everything
you
there
can
is to
learn.
know. No, it's not.
We've given you everything there
Um,
is to get.
so
Such a
on
lie.
on the previous episode, we discussed these new glasses that we have. That uh,
New Orleans glasses.
yes, New Orleans glasses that Rox was super awesome and brought over for us to use, present from his lady.
Absolutely.
And they're really cool. And so we wanted to give them a run for their money and see if what they do is actually something that we can measure or notice.
Quantify.
So we're gonna take,
That was a good word. Don't
yes,
lie.
absolutely
I'm
quantify.
not the
That's
guy with
that's
the
a
words.
that's a $2 word right there.
Uh,
That's expensive.
Sweet.
And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to put it through the ringer. So we were going to, put good in, get good out kind of thing. And so we took some of the bourbons that we
Usually my
had.
motto on dates.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Go on. Yep.
And so we took some of the bourbons that we've had on our list as like our highest rated bourbons, which Colonel Taylor and Eagle Rare
Yep.
are both here. We're going to try those in
Literally
these
did
glasses.
an episode just putting them up against each other.
Yep.
That's how much those are our
And they're
favorites.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And so we're going to
And we
put,
split it when we did
yeah,
that. I was this, he was that. Like
yeah,
it's so like
they're
this is a
close.
fun episode.
And so we're
It's
going to
like we
put
go from
them,
your birthday to
yeah.
my birthday because this
Ooh.
is just yeah, I know, right? I mean, not that I want to
Your
go
birthday's
over,
far more
but
extravagant.
apparently,
We,
jeez,
and so we're going to put these in and we're going to try them out of this glass to see if it changes anything for us. Now, with this last one, we have a Weller 107 courtesy of my father. We're going to try that because
shout out to the roads.
neither of us have had it. And we're going to try a little bit of it
Just want to read it.
in these glasses as something that we haven't had. And then we're going to put a little bit in the rocks glass, as you see here. And we're going to try it out in both and see if the glass actually does what it's supposed to do. So without further
The
ado,
first to produce Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey using wheat.
it's a weeded.
Oh, is that a
Now,
bry?
one thing that I've heard and we may have said on the channel before is that if you find the green Weller and the red label 107 antique Weller and you mix them at a 50-50 ratio, it's called the poor man's Pappy because it tastes just like the Pappy 15 year, I believe, but it doesn't hang on. You don't get the feeling or the sensation that the Pappy 15 would have.
The wheated bourbon became so popular that Weller was forced to put a green thumbprint on barrels to ensure that customers were receiving the real deal.
Ooh,
That's kind of
that
cool.
is very cool.
Gotta admit.
Prohibition at its finest, baby.
107 proof, tastes sweet, this, that, and the other.
Mm.
Now okay, and there's another thing I've often said. Like, there's a screw top to this, not a cork. Um, and this is, well, it's Buffalo Trace. None of these are BTAC. These are just Buffalo Trace. Okay, BTAC is William LaRue Weller, George T. Stagg.
Gotcha.
There's a couple more, but I've seen them. You've seen them, tall, skinny bottles. It might even be Colonel Taylor, but it might be the single barrel offering
Yeah.
or something like that. But they're high-end Buffalo Trace products. And this is interesting to me because it's a screw top.
Yeah.
That's all. And there's a lot of expressions of this. There's reds
Yes.
and greens and blues
Black
and
and
yeah, all
blue.
sorts of colors. Black and blue. There's one that just got too big for its britches, so we had to bruise it.
So, so, so yes, they are all Buffalo Trace products, correct?
Yeah.
So that's another reason we're trying to do this out here. And then you've got the Eagle Rare, which is 10-year aged, and then the Colonel, I don't know what the age statement is on the Colonel, but it's real hard to come by in New York.
You
Um,
just keep talking and I'll read.
I've only seen it the one time, and it was because he was able to call me and tell me that it was in a certain location at a certain time. And the Eagle Rare is getting hard to find too, but Eagle Rare isn't my favorite. It's one of his favorites.
Mhm.
But the I had the Eagle Rare 17 when I went up to Buffalo recently, and it wasn't anything special in my
I'm
opinion,
not seeing any
but
age statements
it was very
other
rare.
than Bond.
So 100 proof, but
Yeah. Small batch. It says small batch, but it
mhm,
also says
I don't know.
yeah.
But
It doesn't say anything more about yeah.
if you know the age statement of Colonel Taylor, feel free to leave it down in the comments. That'd be helpful for us, and we appreciate it greatly. But yeah, so we're gonna try out which one you want to start with.
Select barrels. Yeah, I don't. Well, we've had two, and there's one we haven't had.
Do you want to go
So
with the one we haven't had? Or do you
No,
go?
were we doing the thing with that we talked about a minute ago with the
Yeah.
double sip switch deal? What if we did one at the beginning, did the other one at the end of this? You see what I mean? What if we
But
went
then you won't
Norlands
be
across the board and the double sip would be this one and the rocks or vice versa?
so you want to do this at the end entirely, or
No,
you
I'm
want to
saying we
start
started with like New Orleans glass flight, all three in the New Orleans glass, but we start here, one, two, three, and that would be going up in well, not up in proof because this is 90.
right?
This would be going up in no, it's
No,
not even
that's
true. It'd
yeah.
be going down in proof. So
I think so. I think what we should do is we should do the Weller last, both in the New Orleans glass and in the Racks glass, because that way you're comparing it directly to itself.
fair enough. That's why I just it
Yeah.
just clicks, and I'm like, what if we did this? What if we did that? What if we did
No,
this?
yeah. So we'll save
Juice,
the
you missed
Weller
that
for
episode.
last. And then we'll just go up and proof. So we'll
So we'll
start
start
with
with
the
Eagle.
Eagle Rare.
Okay,
So
cool, cool.
let's do that up. Okay.
Absolutely, and no, absolutely and positively. That's
Also, for
exactly
those
how
of
I like
you
to think.
who like to take care of your bourbon collection, always make sure to flip your bottles once a month so that the cork gets wet.
Does
Otherwise,
it
it
start to
gets
disintegrate?
brittle and disintegrates in your thing, and then it's not, sealed properly. So,
The ironic part of this, to some degree, is our last episode included Blanton's, and that would have gone well here
yeah,
too, in one way or another.
that's
You
true.
know. Oh yeah, this is literally my favorite. And that's plenty for two sips there. That was too much, actually.
It's fine. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well,
It's not, my
uh,
sipper.
it's.
My
I
new
think it's
favorite
literally my
sipper.
favorite. Period.
This is my new favorite sipper. Is the
No, it's
toasted
not.
Nulu. Okay,
Now
well,
this
not
one.
this one,
Oh, okay.
but
All right.
the toasted Nulu expression.
Does it immediately make you want to buy and try some of the next Nulus? Because
I
there's like four.
honestly have looked at the other
Yeah,
Nulus, and
I
they're
figured.
probably on my list of things to buy.
They're in my head too because anything we try that's good, I'm like, well, we should try something else of it. Because if it's good, why not? But don't get turned off. Okay, we could tell the barrel strength bullet story from an episode ago. I don't like Orange Label Bullet at all. He does. But we got to the barrel strength, and oh my God, if I could find another bottle, I'd buy it.
And it's something that I want to revisit because now that we've been doing this for a while and we like the higher proofs a bit more, I
Right.
feel like the barrel strength bullet might actually taste better to me
And
now.
I'd like to try the full proof 1792 that I did not like.
So we can
We
do
have.
that. We have both of them.
Do you have the barrel still?
I believe
Do you
so.
have it? I drank through my barrel, so
So
of strength. Barrels.
look out because in the future that's going to happen. So, all right.
Barrel of strength.
So we're in the rocks, or in
Oh
the
yeah.
not the rocks glass, the New Orleans glass, and we've
Oh,
done our
what's that
spins.
thing? It's like over the lips, through the tongue. Look
Look
out,
out,
stomach,
stomach,
here
here
it
it comes.
comes.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is. Sweet nose, so sweet.
it's still my favorite. I'm sorry, it is.
The
I'm sorry. So
so the
stupid. I
color
shouldn't say
in
that.
here, I know we talked about this last
I'm
episode where you can't
rambling.
really see inside here, but
Right.
with the lights on as they are,
Oh,
you,
you
I
did.
did,
You
I
left
did,
those
because
lights
you
on.
wanted more light, because
I
you're
just wonder
old and
what
scared of the
you.
dark.
I am scared of the dark. You don't understand. You just.
Um, so yeah, we're gonna try this, but inside the glass is actually a very nice color. Like
It's pretty. Like
yeah, it's very like the way that the light reflects off of the edges of the glass and stuff. I don't know if I can do this any justice. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. So we're gonna not do that.
Oh my God, still
But
so good.
yeah,
If anything, and this is to me, this is sort of a guess because we did this a long time ago. I
hmm
liked it. I like it now. As it is trying to establish my palate in this world, it's hard to really be able to just snap back to all the things I thought when I first.
So it's only a 90 proof.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. 10-year age.
There's still some burn there, but there's a
Usually
lot
is
for a
single barrel
90
back
proof.
when.
There's still a lot of flavor.
Right.
There's a bunch of notes that I'm picking up on. There's a little bit of wood. There's not a lot of wood. There's a cherry note.
Yes. Yeah.
There's
Definitely
definitely
cherry.
cherry.
Oh,
The sweetness in there is exquisite for what it is. For a 90
really my
proof to have
favorite.
that much sweetness is impressive.
Used to be a single barrel offering back when.
And
Came out in the year of my birth,
there you
1975.
go.
Cheers.
I'm guessing that because of the spice I'm picking up, there's a little bit of rye in it too, but not a lot. It's not overly rye. I
Used
don't
to be
know.
101.
I don't
Yeah.
know what if they have a mash bill for that,
Well, let's look into that.
but it's real tasty.
This is a little bit of an off the cuff episode.
Yeah.
The one prior to this. Now I'm personally trying to be a little bit better about stuff, but because I was goofy for the holidays. But
Sometimes you have to be a goofy for the holidays.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the
Yeah,
cornerstone of the birth of a nation. Like, why do we even start with that? Like, what, just because there's an
because
eagle on the
it's
tower?
America.
Yeah, America.
But no, this is actually for 90 proof.
The mash.
You're trying to find mash
All
bill.
right, all right.
For the proof, I don't think you're gonna find a tastier bourbon than this. Like in the 90s range, this is probably by far and away the winner of any 90s challenge that you'll ever do.
Wow.
Just because the taste in there is so. The taste profile of this is something of a higher proof. Like
It's so sweet.
I would be hard pressed to find another 90 that had the taste profile of this. Because usually
There's
you're in the
no.
100 plus proof range to find something that
It
tastes like
just
this.
describes it as very sweet. There's nothing mathful. We
Interesting.
can look it up.
It might be high
And
corn then. I don't
yeah,
know. But no, it's super good. I don't like rise. I'm gonna stick by that, especially after the last episode.
right, right.
Um,
This tells you to use ice,
yeah.
like this one does. Right?
And so we've kind of mimicked that with the without the dilutional flavor, right?
This rare whiskey is best served in neat or over ice.
There you
Okay,
go.
but
Pretty
it's
good.
tiny. Like, look at how
Yeah.
old. You see how tiny that shit is? Stuff is.
They wrote the Constitution on the back. Yeah.
And Nicolas Cage stole it. I
Nicolas
saw that
Cage
movie.
stole the whole. Oh wow.
We've been watching um The Lost Symbol by Dan Brown, which is like his next book in the trilogy or whatever.
I've read
You
them.
know, Da Vinci
Da
Code,
Vinci Code, Lost Symbol, and the other Angels and
Angels and
Demons. Yeah,
Demons,
there's them all.
and but well, now he's got a newer one that's not on screen yet. There is a newer, like a 2017 or 18 book he put out. It's like a single word. I can't
I
remember.
bought the book. I haven't read it yet. I don't know where it is.
Angels and Demons was the first one that came out, but yet it was the second movie.
Second movie. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I liked those. Now we've been watching the Lost Symbol thing, which is really kind of cool too.
Yes.
Like I like those kind of shows. Which makes me we would just mention Nicolas Cage talking about National Treasure and stuff like that. I love those kind of movies too. Like
Yes. They're very good movies.
goes all the way back to Goonies for me. Like Goonies started those types of movies where let's go hunt for treasure and make it funny as hell.
Oh, we'll have to go see Uncharted when it comes out with the guy who plays.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
One of the Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
Sorry.
one of the several
Spider-Mans or Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Anyway,
Yeah. I
uh,
don't even, if
yeah,
anything, it
there's
probably brings out more flavor. Just because when you do this, maybe.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's something we could put it in the rocks glass to try, but it's good. I think that was the whole point of this episode, though.
I
Something
have
good.
trouble, again, differentiating because A, the time frame between the last time we had it, and B, the the swirling in the glass thing when you do it with this, I feel like my palate, whether or not my palate's just grown through all this stuff we've been doing, and of course we drink on our own, sometimes, not every day, maybe. But so like I don't know if my palate's grown or if it's the glass or both, but I feel like I'm getting more of it. I
Yeah.
like it just as much. It's still at this point, it's still my favorite. Some things are things I would rather drink different days or different times or going through different things in my life or whatever's going on. Like some days I'd like some of that bullet barrel strength and I'd like to sip on that. Other times I want some Wild Turkey 101. Other times I want some Eagle Rare.
Okay. So
This
I
is yummy.
I did it in both.
Oh, nice.
I
Okay.
did.
What do you think?
This brings out things that this won't, and it's subtle, but
Right.
it's a thing. So there's more sweetness in here. There's more notes of like I don't want to say earthy because I don't believe people eat dirt,
Right.
but there's like more like wheats and like grain. There's more grain taste in this one than there is in this one.
You getting more straw this time? Is
Yeah.
there straw? Did anybody say straw to you? That was awesome.
It's definitely something more. You can tell that there's like certain grains that have gone into this.
You should put like a thing up here when you do this of like from the Wizard of Oz where he falls off the thing and he's like, "I just stuck it back in again."
There you go.
That would be funny. And nobody's gonna. They're all dead. They're not gonna sue for rights if you.
Oh,
And
someone will sue for
20
rights.
subscribers.
And
Nobody's
it
gonna
doesn't
sue
matter.
us for
Disney
anything.
hates competition.
Does Disney own Wizard of Oz now?
Probably they own
Probably,
everything.
yeah. That's true.
Um, yeah, so
Anyway,
this did bring out some extra flavor for me. I'm not
all
gonna
right.
lie, that's absolutely 100% correct. There's no way around that. And so the glass did make it a little bit more enjoyable.
Well, open it up. Maybe not open it up.
Hardly noticeable, but a little bit of notice that it did actually change the flavor profile just enough where you could tell a difference.
Now, I specifically remember, and not just that I've watched it, because I watched some of our episodes to try to learn and figure things out and
Mhm.
game plan for our future episodes. I specifically remember just watching the episodes and be it not being there for the episode, that this one was very silky, and that was the word you used when we
Yes.
first tasted it. But it was a tremendously good word to use because I remember how you can immediately see that. Well, you can kind of see that there's a darker, but then you got a darker label behind than you do in this one too. So that's tough. But this one always looks lighter to me,
Yes.
even though it's higher proof.
Yes, it is.
So, but then again, you have a black label at the back of this, so I don't know how much of the reflection of light and this,
Right.
that, and the other. There's so many nuances.
So little time.
My nuanced brain is tiny, let's be honest. So,
All right, let me do this.
oh, you're gonna double rock all of them,
I
huh?
ain't going nowhere.
He's gonna be extra neat today. You're
Extra.
gonna
I am
learn
always
today.
extra of myself.
I'll learn today.
All right, all right, all right.
We still gotta get a long branch just to try it. As much as
I
we
almost
like
bought
wild
that.
turkey.
I almost bought that yesterday.
Nice. Oh, there's that. E.H. Taylor small batch, not to be confused for the E.H. Taylor single barrel. There is an E.H. Taylor single barrel. And there might even be a batch strain or
There was the
a cask
Warehouse
strain.
B, which was another Rick House that fell out. The build Rick House is better, guys. Come on.
Right, what the hell? We know some of them were constructed in like the early
Yeah.
1900s. But come on.
Yeah, you live in Tornado Alley. Tornado proof them. Come on.
Jeez.
It's expensive stuff in there. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
He's
sorry.
not
I'm
kidding. He hates
kidding.
all of you.
No.
So,
All right.
all 25 of you that are
23, we lost a subscriber.
hell.
I know.
God,
What do you do?
what do you want? We told you we'd get
We
naked.
gave you,
You
we
don't
gave
listen.
you what you want. Okay, so with this, I'm not picking up as much of a nose as I did with the Eagle Rare.
No, and I don't think I did before because this one was the silky sort of
Yeah, it's like,
it sort of just eased into your
yeah,
hand.
there's not a whole lot of like,
I'm gonna stop doing this
yeah,
just so
well,
we're
I
on
don't
it.
know, maybe someone's high and they really want those vibes. Things happen.
Which ironically I'm not, so I don't know why
Yeah.
I'm doing that, other than I'm finally feeling a little bit of a buzz now. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
All right, so with all that out of the way,
Oh, we gotta, yeah, we
cheers.
it's necessary. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
still
the silky.
silky. Still
Yep,
silky.
absolutely.
Hardly any burn.
It's just got kind of a soft, like pleasant mouthfeel.
You know you're drinking a bourbon.
Yeah, that too.
You don't
Oh, it's yummy.
it's blended so well
Hmm.
that it's hard to distinguish a single flavor. Like it's real hard to pick out different notes. Just maybe that's just me, but I I'm not picking up different notes because it's just blended into a thing that tastes good. Like there's no real alcohol burn on my tongue. It did
No, I got
in
no
the
burn.
front there was a little bit of spice on my tongue, but after that it's
Yeah.
gone. My mouth still feels like I know I drank it. Like I can still tell that I drank it. It's still smooth, but I'm not hurting. There's no burn down my
Oh no,
throat.
nothing.
There's nothing there.
But see, now that's another thing. Is that a negative or a positive that there's no hold? Should there be a hint of a hold?
It's holding in my mouth. It's not holding in my throat. Like I'm like my
Really, I'm not getting a lot of hold at all.
try it again. Try it
I
again. It's
he's an enabler, but you know what? He's talking about E.H. Taylor, so I'm not gonna argue with him. He was telling me to try some more Town Branch. I'd probably just,
tell him to
well,
shove off.
walk away.
Yeah.
Because like, why would we? What? Like,
Why would you do that to yourself? Cat piss.
you and cat piss, man.
No, town branch and cat piss.
It's the only person I've ever heard
Not me.
say something tastes like or smells like cat. Well, no, I've heard people say something smells like cat.
So when I was in college, I had a roommate who I will remain nameless. He had two cats with claws. When I told him the whole lease thing was like they had to be declawed, which animal lovers and whatnot
It's illegal in
sorry,
New
it's
York, right?
illegal in New York now, but you're gonna get more cats adopted if they don't have front claws because people don't want their shit damaged. It's just a fact. There's no way around that.
Right.
And the cats don't know it if if it's done as kittens. They never remember that shit.
Right.
However,
With the advent of technology too, it has to be less
oh
painful
for sure,
as time progresses
yeah,
because of all the advents.
you would think. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. He left for Christmas vacation,
It's here and there. I don't know what that
um,
means.
to back to New York City where he was from,
Right.
and left the cats there for a month. Well, no one was there to take care of
In your
in our
dorm
apartment.
or your apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got back and the cats literally had pissed everywhere. Like there was just a smell of cat piss. And so I'm very familiar with the smell of cat piss. They had eaten, but I don't know
He
how.
walked in his
They like
apartment and thought somebody bought
was,
a whole bunch of Town Branch. He was
yeah.
confused. He
Well,
was
I'd
like,
never, Town Branch wasn't around then.
"Yeah, right."
And so it took me several days to clean out all the cat piss smell and get shampooed and like all that stuff. But
Yeah, it's a pain.
I took those cats to the shelter because he abandoned them for a month, and he's such a what a there are words
Are
that
you still friends with
say
this person?
no. I wasn't
Okay.
friends with him then. He was
Oh,
just someone to pay half the rent, but
okay.
never again would I talk to that person in my life. He left shortly thereafter because you don't leave an animal unattended for a month with no one to take care of them.
So he's not a friend, and you're just drilling him right
Yeah,
now.
it's a
And if
piece.
he,
I'm not saying his name, but he's a scumbag. He's an absolute 100% scumbag, and if you know who I'm talking about, you know. But if you don't, you know,
you're gonna find out today.
no, I'm not saying his name, but anyone who wants to know, you DM me. I'll
I
give
should
you
say it's
the
not
address.
rocks,
He's a
just so we're on the same
he's a
page here.
he is one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever met in my life.
Wow.
And I've met some big pieces of shit.
You, I think we've all met quite a few big pieces of shit. So, but
I don't have any. I don't. I don't have any place in my life for people who treat animals like shit. So
as George Carlin so eloquently put it, you don't take a shit, you leave a shit.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna take a shit. Well, don't take one of mine. I only have
Yeah.
three left and the weekend's coming up. Like,
Okay,
oh
so
my God.
in the rocks glass.
Yeah, you're flipping back and forth. I'm not gonna flip. I'll flip this one if we, but barely. But I barely will touch it. So I do very little sips. But I'm trying to find all those notes and those hints. I'm getting a lot more caramels and vanillas than I used to.
So
But
it's hard for me to distinguish between those two right now.
between Eagle Rare and Colonel Taylor.
No, between the Colonel Taylor in the glass and out of the
Ah,
glass.
okay.
They're both very silky still. They're both very excellent, and they're both blended so well that I can't tell like individual notes.
So
They're definitely sweet. There's not a lot of burn, and it does coat my mouth with a silky feeling.
yeah, it's a so. This one's a softer. Like
The flavor profile is more subtle there
yeah,
because it's blended.
it's so hard to yeah.
The Eagle Rare, it accentuated notes that you want accentuated, and it dampened down the things like the grains and stuff that I can still taste in the rocks glass. With the Colonel Taylor, I'm not picking up any difference really. Like it's real hard for me to distinguish. So,
It's yeah. I don't yeah. I haven't switched. I haven't switched. I haven't even used this glass yet. So
well, you're gonna learn today.
right.
So for the last and
But I've
certainly
switched because when we did
right,
these the first time,
yeah.
we only had rocks glasses. So I'm
But I
if
figured,
this brought out more flavors.
yeah,
I immediately thought
it
that
did.
this
It's hard to tell, and that could be because
the smooth
it's a
yeah
very
the
good bourbon.
velvety
It's a
sort of
very good bourbon.
yeah
They're both good.
velvety. See, there you go. It takes me some time,
But
but the velvety feel,
he gets into
velvety.
those fabrics.
Yeah, I do. I do get into those fabrics, and then I wash them after that. So
All right, so we're gonna try this.
or maybe I don't wash them. Whatever you're into. I mean, it's your call.
There
So
you go. All right.
see, you're just pouring too. You're just like,
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna
not
do
messing
this one.
around.
This is the only one I'm going to do this to.
But so yeah, we already discussed the poor man's pappy, which is this is half of that battle. So I expect good things. I've never had a
Weller.
Weller
Nor
107
have I.
antique.
And for whatever reason, the Weller, the regular Weller bottle is not the William LaRue Weller BTAC bottle. That's the taller, skinnier one that kind of looks like this bottle. All have the screw tops.
Yeah,
So that's,
apparently very readily available in Ohio and Kentucky, but not in New York.
I feel like this bottle specifically, with this
Yeah,
little thing, I feel like if you think about it, there are a lot of other ones that look very, very similar. Even the Blue Note,
the
but
one that we
not
had
quite.
last, the Kentucky XO.
Yeah, it was shorter though, I think. Wasn't, don't you think it was shorter?
Go grab it. I don't, it's very similar to that. The Wild Turkey 101 is kind of similar. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
here we go.
there you go. Yep.
I was looking. I think, but I see what you're saying. You see what I mean? It's
Yeah.
got that thing,
Mm-hmm.
that thing.
A little expression of the
It's definitely not the exact same bottle.
No,
But oh, I didn't just
no, you're fine.
microphone because
You're okay.
we were microphoning earlier.
And
Wasn't
then
she?
there's the Blue Note uncut that also has a little bit of a bow there.
I feel like there's other ones of this that are exactly the same as that one though. I think this bottle's mass produced more than
Wiseman
maybe
has
some
it.
others. It's got more of a square,
Wiseman's got that kind of similar bow up there too.
sort of Adam's apple, if you will, in the neck sort of thing. They're male bottles, all right? Just deal with it. Like they were born males. They can identify however they want, but they were
Ezra
born
Brooks
males.
also has it. There you go.
There you go. That one
Very,
looks, yeah,
very similar. Ezra Brooks, 99.
sure
I
enough.
haven't opened that one yet, but we're gonna.
Yep.
All right, so
Well, are you starting with New Orleans or starting with rocks? Because this is the first one I'm
I
gonna
feel like we should
double
start with the
glass. You
rocks.
want to start with the
Start with the
rocks? Okay. And we've never had this, and this is, what did you say, 107?
rocks.
Is what we're at?
Antique 107, so I'm assuming it's a 107 proof. But yeah, no,
I'm
that
getting a lot of the same nose as the H. Taylor,
yeah, there's a lot of
like,
sweetness there. I mean, it's there's
understandably.
yeah, same production facilities, right? So
Yeah. As far as I know, I mean, it's the same company. I don't
mhm.
know if they're on the same campus or they're in the same rick house or
Ooh,
warehouse or whatnot, but
ooh, yeah, try that.
both of these glasses my wife bought for me. And the one he's drinking out of because it's a two pack. Like,
Um,
and I would have bought two anyway.
we
No
only
one.
ever brought over one of the went
Oh,
friends.
the black one.
Oh, yeah, that's
The other black one is what I
yep,
meant. The
yep,
other New Orleans.
that is true.
Is this just glass? And it's coated with something? That's what I wonder too. It looks like glass on
Is
the
it?
inside.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Do you think if you drop this, it would just break as easy as this would? Don't do that. That's a bad idea. That has a cat piss idea to it. Okay, let's
Okay,
yeah.
that's a town branch.
Let's declaw you for a second and
Okay.
just don't drop them.
So there's definitely more burn on this than there was on the kernel.
Yeah,
I'm picking up more, like my tongue is a little bit on fire.
and it's not
It's
as
not going
silky
away.
smooth. Not quite as silky
Um,
smooth.
the notes, though, there was still some sweetness.
It's holding more.
There's definitely more of a. I've got it up here. I don't have it down here, but maybe I didn't have enough.
I don't. I didn't have any of this down here,
Mhm.
and I had some of this, but none of this. And this one's is here, and not in a bad
So
way.
the Eagle
It's
Rare hit
still
me up here.
enjoyable.
The Colonel Taylor, it was on the tongue and it was gone, but it was silky. This is leaving on my tongue a little bit of spice.
Don't you hate when your tongue leaves spice?
I do.
It looks like the William Lurell bottle. It looks like the Weller bottle's going up my nose. Watch. Oh.
Oh, we can fix that.
Well,
Here, let's get rid of this guy.
I don't really give a flying
I don't.
poo-poo.
I don't want you to feel like you're picking your nose.
I'm swearing a lot less, just so you know,
I'm
motherfucker.
so proud of you because it's professional not to swear. Anyway,
One thing people have never described me as is professional. So,
one thing people have never described me as is a woman.
really?
Yeah,
Wow. I mean, that
yeah,
makes sense, but
probably,
I don't know.
probably facial hair.
It's the well, oh, geez. I didn't know Steven Tyler was here. We should wrap some scarves around the bottles for him because he's always got scarves on all of his
Dude, I don't.
microphones and
I
stuff.
would marry Liv Tyler. Dude, she's an elf.
Yeah.
She's
An
Lord,
elf.
Lord of the Rings elf. Yeah.
Elf. Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were using some sort of acronym I didn't understand for like MILF. You know what I mean? Like
Everyone loves. What's the F?
effing
Yep.
without
Nope.
swearing.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Pumping is an F.
We're gonna come up with an acronym for elf that regards Liv Taylor. Liv Tyler? Tyler.
Tyler.
Not
Tyler,
Taylor.
yeah. Steven
Yeah.
Tyler,
Thinking
Steven
of
Tyler.
Colonel Taylor. My bad. All right.
I would marry Liv Taylor
Yeah.
if she
If
was
she
as
was
hot as Liv
Colonel
Tyler.
Colonel Taylor tastes.
Or,
All
because she wouldn't have to be that hot if she could just bring me that every day like it's water.
right.
Now we're trying to discern whether or
We're
not
gonna see if it tastes any different out of the New
I'm
Orleans
gonna
glass.
learn today.
Here we go. It does. It does taste
Ooh,
different.
yes, it does.
It does.
It tastes more. There's more
There's
going
more,
on.
yes, there's not as much burn on my tongue.
If the major selling point to these is getting more
Flavor.
out of your bourbons, whiskey, scotches, whatever you drink, I assume this kind of the guy who came up with this or one of the guys is a big
He
scotch guy.
he wanted you to taste everything that was going into
Yeah,
it.
it's there's definitely more flavor to it. I think at some point we will probably get to a point where There's a little redundant.
Mhm.
We probably will try and get, even if they're slightly generic or whatever, they don't have to be special, I don't think, some Glencairns. And I only say
Mhm.
that because a lot of, basically almost every other show uses Glencairns in most of their tastings.
Okay.
So and that's not to say they're more professional or whatever they are, because, boobies.
I mean,
Anyway,
you can still do rocks glasses, and I mean that's what an old fashioned is served
I
in.
like rocks
Yeah,
glasses.
rocks
I
glasses are
still
well
drink in
pretty.
rocks glasses at home. Like I
Yeah,
opened these today. I got
yeah.
them for Christmas. I waited till I got here to film with Neat. Um,
So it's probably all the dust from China.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the China
it's real
dust.
good.
Yeah, I heard that if you put it in lines and use a straw. Oh, anyway, the China dust will probably kill you. Um,
No, this is actually it did change the flavor profile substantially for Weller.
you know what? I'm gonna total off the mark here. Is there anything in this nowadays?
Water,
Okay,
keep
so
it.
you don't want to. You haven't had a
We can use it.
rebatch.
We can rebatch if you want.
Well, I mean,
You
I
can
didn't
do up
know
to
if you
like
had done
roughly three per one of these things.
three what?
3 batches, and then it starts to lose its funk.
It's funk?
Yeah, like
Do you mean it's gonna leak, or it's
no, I
not
mean
going
like
to?
all the char and stuff that gives it its flavor.
You did something firewise in
I
that,
did.
didn't you?
I
If
put
I'm
in
remembering
some
right.
Knob Creek 12 or Knob Creek Quarter Oak. I put just enough in, and then I lit it on fire to re-char it. So it was double charred. It was
We
toasted.
need that on tape. When you
We
said we should show like
we
things,
can
we should see
absolutely,
that.
we can absolutely do that
That would be
sometime. That would be
hilarious.
fun.
Wait, maybe till it gets warmer so we can do it outside, so it's
Man, I
safer.
mean,
No,
this is a flame retardant. This isn't going to catch fire.
I just worry that I
Neither is
don't.
the tile.
Well,
There's not a
I
lot
don't
of.
know.
I mean, the only thing that's going to burn is my microphone.
It's pretty. It's it's a pretty rare occasion where I think, hey, I'm not in
Seriously.
my house. Let's set things on fire. You know what I mean? So I thought outside might be a nice way to say.
Nah, there's no smoke that comes off it because it all burns. It's 100% burn. It's good.
Mhm. There. Okay. So anyway,
Yeah.
this definitely brought out more flavors for me than this did. Okay,
Hmm.
so I will give it that. I'm.
Cherries,
Oh wow.
um, a little bit of vanilla, a little caramel, but no, I'm mostly getting fruit.
A little. I'm getting a little of the oak, a little of the char, sort of the tannins, or if you will, from the wood. A
I can
little
see
bit.
some of the barrel and some of that, but I'm definitely I'm getting fruit.
Again, but to me, like it's sort of it's more comparable to the Regal Rare for me because I'm getting more of a deeper, thicker, heavier, and that's you have to take that in context as to what I'm saying against the E.H. Taylor. E.H. Taylor is the silkiest, most velvety, most soft feeling anything that I've ever had whiskey wise, and it's amazing. So
Hmm.
it's right
It's good.
there near the top of my list or at the top of my list, depending on the day you ask me. But
Cleanse that palate.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's the New Orleans glasses are fine. They're not cheap. They're about $50 for two of them.
Wow.
And then you got to get them if you don't have a place where you live. You have to get them delivered, and then because they're glass, it's a little expensive to get them delivered to be fragile and whatnot. But I think they're worth it. Like I said
Yeah.
to you before, Jim McEwing was part of the team and
Development.
development, and he's a legend in the Scotch world. If you watch Neat on Hulu, it's a great documentary. You should still watch it. It's just interesting about how they make the stuff, and it's a good show. Like it doesn't
Sure.
make you want to turn it off.
I got popcorn. You can watch it.
It's cool. It's a good show, man. I like it. I've watched it a couple times just to try to remember what he said and remember what other people said. And it's the one where I told you a long time ago. Towards the beginning, there's a guy in a suit and whatnot who it says his nose was originally $2
Insured for
million
2 million.
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, whatever. It's fine. But the glasses are, yeah, they do something. It's not a
Hmm.
gimmick to me. It did something to
Yeah.
me.
No, it's definitely tasty.
Whether or not you think it's worth the price point for what it's worth, that's up
It's
to you.
worth the try.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a restaurant and they offer you one of these to try your bourbon in,
Well, as a
absolutely.
person who got one for a gift and didn't pay for it, if now that you've tried it, would you
Yeah.
just buy some of these? If
Yeah.
would you just spend 50 plus shipping to get a couple of your own?
I would.
Well, there you
I
go.
would
See, then
because
that's because I already have them, so
it
you can't ask me
I would, but that's
personally.
because I am becoming that the we're doing a bourbon show and it's
Right,
worth it to me to have the best option for the things we're doing.
right.
So it doesn't matter if it's a Colonel Taylor, an Eagle Rare, or a Smoke Wagon or something. I want to give everything the benefit of the doubt that someone somewhere saw something in it.
Right.
So if I can put it in a glass that is designed to bring out the flavors that they wanted to see in that bourbon, I'm absolutely going to try and do that for them and give them the benefit of the doubt by using a glass that is designed to bring out the flavors that they put into it.
Makes total sense.
But that's because we're trying to do a bourbon show. If
Right.
I'm, average Joe, just going to a restaurant, I don't
You're not gonna do. Do you
necessarily.
have a New Orleans glass? You
Do you
don't.
guys
Well,
have a New Orleans glass for me? Like, no,
dude, we have a
just
bottle
put it in your normal freaking glass and give
where
it
I
to me,
work.
and I will drink it.
We have a bottle that's been opened, I don't know how long, probably been there since we opened, which is like 12 years ago.
Jeez.
And it's Southern Comfort Pepper.
They don't even make that anymore, dude.
It's still on our thing, and it's still more than half full because nobody ever
Nobody
has
would
ordered
ever
it.
drink
We've never
that.
had a cocktail that had it in it. You know what I use it for? Because we don't have a button for it, so that nobody can even use it. Is nobody can charge it if they say I want a shot of that. I'll be like, what do I ring up? Because I don't
Yeah,
that we don't have that. Anytime somebody comes in and is celebrating their 21st
you
birthday,
give that
I give
then.
them a shot because nobody's monitoring it. We just need it to go eventually.
Oh, wow.
And because it's their 21st birthday, they don't know any better. So
No,
they're
they
just
don't.
like free liquor, and
Wow,
mind you, I do it safely. I know they have drivers, blah, 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 all that stuff.
yeah,
But I'm just saying,
that's too funny.
like, it's terrible. I just smelling
I
it
can give it
bothers
away
me.
for free.
Yeah, smelling it bothers me. Yeah.
Dude, I used to love SoCo Amaretto Lime. Like, this is so good.
I've been wondering about the SoCo 100 because I see the bottles and they're not expensive. And I always thought, and it was go back to what we used to think about Old Foresters and Wild Turkeys, and now it's Southern Comfort a little bit. And I'm like, 100 proof bottle is like 20 bucks or something.
Yeah,
But, 101 of Wild Turkey is 25 bucks. So it might be
right.
worth a taste.
No, but
Or
not a bottle.
no. Well, it might be worth a bottle. I mean, me being the one of the two of us that's just going to drink it anyway, I'm going to drink it. I drank the White Dog. I drank the Town Branch. I finished it, all of it. I just finished things.
You should probably take this home with you then.
Yeah. So what is this? Is this your first batch?
That's our first batch.
And you're never going to drink this?
Dude, no, it tastes awful.
You, I was about to ask earlier when I mentioned that and we just sidetrack and stuff, like whatever, not what happened to it, but what are you going to do with it and what's the deal? And
It's our first batch, so you do with it as you will. It's White Dog that has been in this for multiple weeks, for about 2 weeks.
wait a minute.
And that's how I got the color, because it was White Dog.
Wait a minute. You just chill.
It's old Greg in it for you.
That's right. I don't know who the fuck is old Craig. What do you?
You ever drink baddies from a sheep?
No, I don't even know what you're doing right now. I don't know who that is, and I don't know why I'm shutting off my water
It's an
bottle.
internet video, but yeah, old Greg, watch it on YouTube, and you'll be like, "This is creepy and kind of funny," and I get it now.
I do like creepy and funny.
Yeah,
It's
so
one of
old
my
Greg's right up here. Oh
Jesus
yeah, you're
Christ.
gonna drive
Well,
home
as if
sometime.
that matters, because let's be honest, you don't even want it.
Nope,
So this is not our bottle. So
no.
it's our juice.
It's our juice.
It's not our
We
bottle.
took
So
Buffalo Trace White Dog, put it in here for 2 weeks, and it came out that color.
and it was part wheat and part something like mash
It
bill
was
number
the mash bill
one or
one and the
something.
weeded.
Yeah. It doesn't look, dude. It doesn't have a bad nose. It
No,
really doesn't. Like you can even dump it, just pour or even sniff it.
let's
Yeah,
see here.
whatever. Like it's not. I'm not saying
So there's sweetness to it.
you. That's not the nose isn't
That's
horrible.
the no. It's not bad. It's definitely
You
underdeveloped.
know what else I'm doing wrong? Well, according to other shows, I'm doing wrong a lot. I'm doing wrong a lot of the time. I don't stare at you too much when people are looking. Anyway,
Lovely
whatever. We go off the rails all the time.
every
Okay,
day.
we're having fun doing this. We're not here to be like,
Fun's
oh
my
man,
bad.
man, man, man. We want to have some fun. Um, is that I know I always do, and I don't think about it at the right time to keep my mouth just a little open when I'm sniffing
Hmm.
versus completely closed. And I know I'm always like, as opposed to, so yeah, in case you're all confused as to what mouth open meant. But anyway,
So the mouth opening I get because then it brings the nose down through your taste buds, which you'll be able to taste a little bit too.
and it doesn't overpower it. Like it's not just, it doesn't make things taste or smell so too robust that they're
Right.
not going to taste that way, I guess, is what
Yeah.
I'm learning on this journey that you're all honest with. Subscribe, bitches. I don't think that's terrible. Again, I wish we had a way to figure out what the proof is.
So the proof should be somewhere similar to the White Dog.
Because even though it'll flavor and color in a week or so because of the size,
Hmm.
the proof won't
The proof shouldn't change too
go
much
down.
because it shouldn't evaporate too much because it's pretty locked in there. Like, I mean, this is the same water since that has been gone, and it's still pretty full.
Hmm.
Like, there's not a lot of evaporation
I
in the
think we
green.
should do a white dog in here with some other. We should make our own blend and then leave it in for a week or two. Like do one bottle of blue,
So
bottle of white dog.
by putting the white dog in, you're going to need to age that. So the putting it in for a couple weeks is fine. And then you're saying add other things that we have open to it
Right.
to try and bring out those flavors a little bit further.
It's almost like finishing.
Almost like a double oak.
Right, but it's almost like finishing, except that it's finishing at the same time. Some of
Half of
it's
it's
finishing,
half of it's
and
finished and
half
half
of
of it's
it's
not.
distilling,
So you're going
or
to
not.
overfinish and
You know what I mean?
underfinish
Aging.
and kind
Yeah.
of bringing it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely something we can do. Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it, or I think maybe the way to do it would be to, or possibly a way to do it would be to do a white dog, whichever one we've picked, and
Yeah. Whatever we can find, honestly.
right. We usually see those little ones at the,
Are they
you
still
know,
there?
the yeah, most of the time. But and that's like $15.
So we could
But
take
then we
some.
should try something we didn't like,
Right.
but
And
we
put it in
almost
there.
liked,
Yeah.
not Town Branch, but
No.
something we were just like, it's, and see if we could like bring it
Bring it up.
to life. We could resuscitate.
I'm wondering if we don't do that
We
with
could
the Blue Note.
re.
But you haven't had the Blue Note yet.
No, the uncut. No, no, I
So
haven't tasted
we
it
might do
yet.
that. Or the
Um,
Smoke Wagon.
yeah. See, you weren't a fan.
I
I
wasn't
didn't
a big
taste
fan of
that,
the Smoke
but yeah,
Wagon.
I almost bought that Smoke Wagon Christmas bottle. I just
Not worth it.
no.
Don't
Yeah.
buy the
Well,
Smoke
that's why. Yeah, when you texted me,
Wagon.
you're like, I wasn't a fan. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
and it's probably not worth the $30. So
No. It's a very kitschy thing, I feel like. But
yeah,
that's,
it's.
yeah.
I mean, I would guess that it's blended or sourced or whatever because
The
it's
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, I would assume or guess, but
Right.
that could be wrong.
That's
They
fair.
have a lot of places that don't do that in Texas with very high heat. So
That's
we've never
true.
had Garrison Brothers or any of those things or Balcones
I
or
just don't know what their rick houses are and how they adjust for temperature and stuff and if it's controlled or not.
no. And there's the different wheats.
Yeah.
And they're smaller barrels. Some of those, I think it's not Balcones. It's the one I just said. Garrison
Mhm.
Brothers uses 30-gallon barrels versus 50,
So the
53,
timing on
55.
that is totally different.
Yeah,
It'll age differently.
it's yeah.
So for this
It's
episode,
horrible. It's not.
basically the idea was to test these glasses out and see,
Against some of our big dogs, like
yeah, against
these are
get
our
good in, get good out, and see what happens.
right.
And so we did two that we knew were very good, and then we did one that we believed was very good that
It
we never
is.
had,
It
and it is
is.
very
Yeah,
good.
this is very good.
Um,
Little deeper holds.
but we definitely tried them all.
Not as
I
silky.
tried all of them in
Not as
both of
heavy.
these glasses,
Yeah, yeah. I
and
tried one of them just like
honestly, the Eagle Rare and the Weller were not night and day, but they were different enough where you could distinguish a difference.
yes, I agree. I agree.
Um, and then the Colonel Taylor, I couldn't, but that's just because it's so smooth. And I don't know if that speaks to Colonel Taylor or what, but
Or this, yeah, and the small batch, Colonel Taylor small batch too.
that it's just so good and so blended so well that it doesn't matter how you mix it and how you aerate it.
I don't know what I don't even know what you did. You just looked very serious. I was looking over here, and then you were like,
I almost dropped it.
"Oh,
Yeah,
man."
but so yeah, that was the Colonel
Honestly,
Taylor. I
if
didn't
we
taste much of
blinded
it.
these three right now,
It
glass,
would be
no
interesting.
glass, I think I could pick this one out of the lineup.
I do too.
I think these two would confuse me a little bit because there
It'd be
was
different.
more of a robustness
There's
to
so
it.
many other flavors that are being brought out by this glass in those two, whereas the Colonel Taylor, it's still flavorful, it's still delicious, and it's
Darker
the only
flavors.
difference is that
The two,
it's
like
more silky in the mouth and it's
caramel and vanilla versus cherry and
almost like a weeded, like a I don't know,
eh,
a sweet corn. I don't
maybe not chocolate, but something like chocolate and not caramel. Something I don't know. I don't know. Just
like a pecan.
these two would trouble me. This one I think I'd be able to pick out.
But
So,
yeah, we'll try those out.
but they're still awesome. Like
They're
there's no
all
question.
three were winners, and the glass is definitely something that if you don't have one, pick them up and try it out and try for
If
yourself.
you want to
And
cleanse your palate,
valid, do sure. And with that, that's definitely getting edited.
oh,
I'm neat.
I'm lost.
Yeah, you are. This has been
The
the Bourbon
Bourbon Barrel.
Barrel.